welcome to this very special edition of 52 Masters. In this episode, we're actually going to do a recap. We're going to go back and look at the 10 previous episodes that we shot and see what we learned. Those of you who have not seen some of the episodes, this is your chance to kind of get a taste of what it was and maybe actually go back and watch that episode. And those of you who have seen it, this is your chance to check it out again. So that being said, let's get to talking. You know, I was 51 years old, coming up on 52, and I'm always trying to think of something interesting to do. And suddenly it hit me that, you know what would be fun turning 52 would be going out and training with 52 different masters and learning 52 different things. There's 52 weeks in a year, 52 cards in a deck, and I'm turning 52. I turned 52 on August 12th. So I thought, that's the thing. I bounced it off some people, and they were like, that's a really cool idea. We shot the trailer, and now we're committed. So people are like, are you really gonna finish 52? Are you really gonna do 52? Yes, we must do 52 because we've already put it out there. And so far it has been a blast. So much fun interviewing people, learning new things. Some people have said, wow, I wish I would have thought of that. And honestly, I didn't think I would just survive after episode 1 because we did capoeira with Mestre Amen Santo, but it's been great, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the episodes. And that is how we came up with 52 Masters.
Go
ahead and clap for us.
We're going to look at that camera right there.
Well, 52 Masters is a really great title for a web series. It's catchy, it works. 52 Masters, what's that? It's intriguing. It actually gets people to want to know more about it. Much better than 52 pretty good people or even 52 experts. First of all, in the martial arts, the term master is largely overused, in my opinion. Everybody's a master. There's grandmasters, there's masters, there's super supreme grandmasters with, chips and a drink. But then there are the real masters, people like Guru Janel Santo, Fumio Demura. Really, how we're defining masters in this series is somebody who is an expert, somebody who is really good at what they do. And everybody that we're talking to, that we're interviewing, that I'm getting to train with, that I'm learning from, is better than me. They know more than me. They're better than me at that particular art. So, in my opinion, that qualifies them. So, that's how we came up with the title. That's how I define it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be perfect or that, you are a supreme master. It just means really, really competent, really good at what you do.
That's a sharp one.
The advantage of shooting this show in Los Angeles, as opposed to maybe somewhere else, is that this has been called the Mecca of the martial arts. We have every style in the world here, and we have a lot of people of renown who live here in Los Angeles who are willing to share their knowledge with us. So, real big advantage living in LA and doing the show. This is going to be a really interesting, inspirational episode.
This is going to be an inspirational.
My 50s have been good so far. The fortunate thing is that, because I am active with, teaching, the kids keep you young. I'm in pretty good shape for somebody in his 50s. And at the same time, I'm in my 50s. So that could be a little challenging physically, especially when you're, getting in there with guys like Amen Santo for the capoeira, with Chinzo Machida, who, who's gonna work you. Even some of the silat that I did with Janel Barlongo, there are just positions and movements that I'm not used to doing, and I definitely felt it over the next 3 days. The thing is that I don't heal as quickly as I used to. So I might be able to get through the work, but the healing process takes longer. That being said, I'm gonna challenge myself. I look at people like Dan Inosanto and Hickson Gracie, and they're still at it. Benny Urquidez. Those guys serve as my inspiration, and if they can do it, I'm going to aspire to do the same thing. And for me to be a leader in the community, I got to be able to walk the talk. So if I want to be able to tell people that it's important to continue training and working out and keeping a positive mindset and living a healthy lifestyle, then I got to lead by example, right? I'm going to have to say the hardest art to train in so far has been the Brazilian capoeira, episode 1. We should have had capoeira as episode 51. Episode 1, going into it, I was like, oh, what have we gotten ourselves into here? What's difficult about capoeira is not only the physical movements, they're very acrobatic-like, and you're getting down on the ground and coming back up, and you've got to spin around, and you got to do it not just once, but several times. But there's also a certain rhythm, a dance-like rhythm that has to do with capoeira. And sometimes I'm rhythmically challenged. When it comes to certain dance-like moves, I'm always a little off. It is a challenging art. Training with Chinzo Machida, he just works you. They have a very modern approach to combat in terms of, we hit pads and we use boxing gloves and shin guards and things like that. But he is also got an old school work mentality, and you got to be out there sweating and heart pumping and really feeling it. He's gonna push you. Silat Buka Lingkaran, the ground positions are tough. Being able to get up from the ground and kick from the ground and then get back down. That was what was challenging for that. Working with Rob Moses was a joy, but being able to flow is harder than you think. I'm gonna learn how to flow with Rob Moses, so here I am, trying to flow, and he's just, moving like water. So you have to be able to kind of walk into it with a new attitude and just sort of be. What's really fun about learning something new, learning a new martial art, is it really feels to me like Christmas or birthday when you get a new toy and this is like, ooh, this is really cool, and look at all the bells and whistles. And it's just fun for me. It's exciting. Oh, wow, this is really cool. And I feel really good because I'm learning something new. And it really is exciting for me. I love learning. I'm a much better student now than I was when I was in school. When I was in school, I was lazy and a procrastinator. And now that I'm 52, I think I've become a much better student. The even funner part about doing this series, though, is actually getting a chance to talk with these people that I'm training with. The training part is great, but I love being able to sit down with people, coffee in my hand, and learn about them. I love being able to share their story, and I get inspired. It's not just the martial arts that I'm learning, it's the life lessons that they teach me when we do the interview, when we sit down and we talk story. That's what I really love about doing this series. Martial arts is an obvious bridge between cultures because these martial arts come from different countries. We have covered Brazil, Indonesia, the Philippines, right? Japan, and we're getting a chance to glimpse into this culture. These arts were developed in these countries for whatever reason, right? Not only for combat, but for personal development. And that is the common thread, right? Everybody's working to be better, to better themselves. I think not just to be better than the person next to you, but how do you become the best version of yourself through martial arts? And that seems to be a common thread through many of the martial arts that I've gotten a chance to study with some of these masters.
A punch is a punch. I don't care if it's the karate punch or a Chinese kung fu, right?
A message from Gerald.
Oh, that's my agent calling. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes, I'm in an interview, but yes, I can't come right now. It's very important for me to finish this interview. Yes, tomorrow. Warner Brothers. Yes, 9 o'clock. For what movie? Never heard of it. Can you give me more information and call me back, and I'll tell you if I'm willing to go to that interview. I'm very particular in what, if the price range isn't within my my range, I don't think I want to spend time going to this interview. All right, thank you.
Sounds very important.
No, it wasn't. I don't think they can come up with the money.
We did this episode with this awesome dude named Cole Rogers, and what an inspirational guy. Just being willing to do anything. I mean, really, he believes nothing is impossible, and it's because of his belief in himself. He's out there doing it. He's doing jiu-jitsu, he's doing Krav Maga, he's doing all these other things, and it's just amazing, you know? How could you not be inspired being around Cole Rogers? And you meet him, he's this guy, he's like 24, right? 25 years old. Pleasant guy, just, you know, just so pleasant, you know, and like you would think people maybe in his situation would be much more bitter, right? And he's just the nicest guy. I mean, of course, he's gone through his challenges, but I think out of all the episodes I've shot, the one with Cole is my favorite. And he's been the most inspirational person that I've gotten a chance to train with.
When the two samurai, they fight over the sake, that's why.
What's it like trying to produce a show like this with a small crew on a weekly basis?
It's got its challenges doing one of these every week. Sometimes what we try to do is we...
If you can start again with...
Oops, I broke my own rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. It happens.
Okay.
All right, and...
Are we still rolling?
Yep.
Which camera am I talking to? What are we doing? So filming an episode of 52 Masters every week is a little challenging, to say the least. Sometimes what we try to do is we try to cheat a little bit, and we'll actually try to film like maybe 2 in a weekend so we can get a little bit ahead of the curve, and sometimes we still end up getting behind. So we may make it up somewhere later down the line, but the goal is, since we have put it out there, and that is the beauty of putting something out in the world and being held accountable, is we cannot stop at 10 episodes. Obviously, we must get 52 done. Now, hopefully this will not take 52 years. You know, we want to get 52 episodes done before I turn 53 so that we can move on to another project and get our lives back. That being said, it's fun. You know, the crew is super efficient, creative. Director Jim Towns is, I think he is just a wizard. He puts these things together, and with some of the pop-ups like you used to see on VH1, you know, with the little tidbits. I think that's a really cool way of conveying information, particularly of a historical nature, although sometimes it's trivia. And we got a cool crew. You know, it's a small crew. It's usually just, you know, me and Stefano, or, you know, Richard or Robert, or, you know, somebody else. It's just a small crew, you know, 5 or 6 people, I think, sometimes. And usually it's just me and the camera operator. But, you know, it's a great collaborative effort, and a lot of fun. I like the vibe of the show. I like the message that we're trying to tell, and people seem to be enjoying it. You know, something a little different than, you know, we're not trash talking anybody. We're really genuinely interested in people and their martial art, and we're genuinely interested in learning something new and bettering ourselves. And I think people like that.
Arigatou gozaimashita. Arigatou. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you.
I was getting pretty good at that manual hand slap, you know, so I was Well, I learned the importance of consistency from Amen Santo. From Chinzo Machida, getting out of your comfort zone. Very important. From Rob Moses, just learning how to flow. And coming back from adversity. The man had 5 strokes. That's an inspiration, you know? He's still with us. And that's an important life lesson to learn. From Janel Barlongo, be open-minded. Have an open mind, an open heart, and go out there and learn new things. From Cole Rogers, obviously, nothing is impossible. From Sensei Eagan, my karate brother, again, the training is important. Trying modern techniques of training in a traditional art. Being open-minded about the different types of training. That's what I learned from him. From Manu, who is amazing, you know. Once you can see Manu, and then when you experience her technique and the strength of what she does, she's the real deal. With Sensei Bruce, just his gentleman quality, you know, his cordialness, his welcoming nature, and he is like me. He's always looking to learn new things and to improve. I think he's just a gentleman. I want to be as welcoming and respectful to people as Sensei Bruce Nguyen is. From Gerald Okamura, I've learned 3 things: the importance of respect, humility, and you never know what to expect when you interview Gerald Okamura. You just never know what he's gonna do or what he's gonna say. So with Gerald, always expect the unexpected. What I've learned from my good friend Alvin Catacutan is not just about Kali and knife fighting. He really brings his heritage and his culture. He brings that. He wants to share that, not just the martial arts. He wants to share about the lineage, the legacy. He honors his teachers. He credits who he learned something from. I really respect that. And he's very, very generous. He's introduced me to a lot of the people who have either been on the show or are going to be on future episodes. So I really, really owe a great debt of thanks to Guru Alvin Catacutan. What I want this series to inspire in our viewers is being willing to try new things. Don't be afraid. Try new things, experience it. Be willing to look stupid. Be willing to be really bad at something so that eventually you can become really good at something.